What's up everybody, this is Dani Sco, and I am so excited to welcome you to my cooking show. Today we are making tofu. This is something that I have probably at least 3 times a day. It's one of my favorite meals, and especially when I make it in the air fryer. So tofu is actually one of those things that pretty much everybody messes up the first time that they cook it because they don't know how to cook it because it's kind of mushy, and if you don't cook it right, it totally turns you off to tofu. So I am here to save tofu in your life and show you how to cook it so it tastes really enjoyable, so you can really enjoy it and get all the health benefits that tofu has. Today we are making tofu, pretty much just regular seasoned tofu with lemon pepper, Mrs. Dash, pink Himalayan sea salt, and this new little gem that I found at Trader Joe's. This is called Everyday Seasoning. I've been putting this on everything and it's super awesome. And then black pepper, of course. So we're also going to be using Trader Joe's high protein tofu. Yes, high protein. This has 15 grams of protein per serving, and a serving is 1/5 of this container. So that is like 60 grams of protein per this. Okay? So nobody is protein deficient here. Today we're using the air fryer. And I don't know that I made a video for you guys yet with the air fryer, but let me just tell you, I bought 4 of them for Christmas. One of them was for myself, and then I actually bought another one for my friend for his birthday. So I am a huge advocate of the air fryer. It's super fun, super easy, and whenever you put tofu in it, it kind of dehydrates it and makes it kind of like a little crouton. So once you season it and then you dehydrate it and air fry it, it tastes like so good. And you can put it in salad, you can put it in pasta, you can put it with rice, put some sauce on it, like super duper get creative, because after you make it in the air fryer like we're gonna make it today, it's pretty much a blank slate, and you can either eat it just like that, plain. I like it just plain with no salt on it even. And I also like it with some barbecue sauce. So this is how we're gonna do it. First, you need high protein organic tofu from Trader Joe's. You can also make it with the regular one that sits in the brine that comes in like normal grocery stores. But this one is just actually super firm, and I've been using it because I am using it for contest prep. So for bodybuilding. Yes. So first what you want to do is remove this from the package. So you kind of dry it out. And I've kind of come up with an awesome method to cut this. You don't have to do it this way every time. I encourage you to cut it. You can cut it up in like little slabs and make like little tofu patties out of it even. But today we're gonna cut it up in little chunks. So I go down the middle long ways first. And then, so you kind of half it. And then half it. Half it again. And okay, so now that we have it in this position, typically a serving for me is about 1/4 of a block of tofu. So this is typically what I have. Ian will maybe have 2 or 3 of those. So then you just cut it up into little cubes after that. And the thinner that you cut them, the drier that you can make it. So if you leave it a little thicker, then it still stays a little bit moist inside. And this is all personal preference. So anything you cook with the air fryer, you can make it as burnt or as chewy or as soggy as you want. It's all up to you, all personal preference. And sometimes I season them before, sometimes I season them after. This time I actually put them in a little bowl and I seasoned them before with the seasonings that I just explained to you. So right here already. I'm gonna put some more in. And actually I do, for the air fryer, you actually do not need oil to make that happen. You can just put it in there dry, but I do put a little bit of cooking oil, like cooking spray on there, just to stick the seasoning. So it's like very minimal, just like, I'll show you. Salt, a little bit of lemon pep, every day, the jam. Oh, and from Trader Joe's, I also tried their everything bagel seasoning. So it's like everything but the bagel, and that was, I think that was better than this one, but that one was really good. And black pepper. The best way to do this is like this. And it's the most fun. I forgot, I made kale chips. So this is just regular kale that I just took out of the bag and I put it into the air fryer. I seasoned it the exact same way that I did the tofu. I just used all this stuff right here, same stuff. This is how they come out. See how some of them get a little more burnt and some of them don't? So now you take this and you just go ahead and dump it in there. Now, I did put a good amount of tofu in here. So what I will tell you is about halfway through your cooking, take it out and just like give it one of these so you can kind of disperse and so the air can get to everything evenly, but you'll see. So as of right now, putting it in like this. So this is the New Wave air fryer. This is the one that I bought from Bed Bath & Beyond with my 20% off coupon, and I got for everybody in the family. But if you guys want to click the link in the description, it's actually an Amazon link to something that is super similar, if not the same thing as this, so you guys can start air frying too. And they're about $60 to like $200, and obviously you get what you pay for, but I highly recommend it. So here we go. Very easy to use, so you just turn it on and set the temperature. Normally with tofu or anything frozen, something that I put a lot in there, I put the temperature all the way up to like 400. So temperature, I put it up to 400, and if I put a lot of stuff in there, I start the time around 12 minutes, and then you just press start. And what's cool about this is you can see how your food is cooking on the fly, and you can adjust the temperature and the time accordingly. So you can actually just stop it, check it out, shake it around, and then put it back in. And if it needs more time, just add more time. If it needs more temperature or less temperature, then you can go ahead and do that as well. Okay, perfect. So we're about halfway done now. That's been in there for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees because there is a lot of tofu in here, but you can see, so once it's about halfway done, you want to just like give it a good shake. Sometimes I season it a little bit more when it's in this state, and then I pop it back in there. Sometimes I hit it with a little more vegetable oil if I want to get it a little bit more crispy, or like Pam cooking spray, whatever that is, to get it more crispy. So yeah, you just give it a good shake, and you can see that. So for example, this one was kind of covered by other pieces of tofu. See how it's kind of white, versus this one right here is actually getting a little more crispy. So you can kind of see the difference, and that's why we do the shake around. So that's gonna go back in there for probably another 7 minutes, and then I think they'll be perfect, ready to eat. Oh, I think they're done. So pretty much when they can all move freely around, then they're done. So the tofu is done. What I really like about doing it like this is it makes it not so like mushy. It makes it kind of crunchy, and I really like things chewy and burnt, so that's kind of how I cook everything, but don't think that that's how you have to cook everything. What's kind of cool about using the air fryer is that you kind of get a mix of all different pieces, especially if you cut them a little bit irregular. So for example, this one is a little thicker, so see how it's like a little bit bendy? Outside. This one will be a little bit more chewy, obviously, and then this one is kind of a little thin guy, and that one's like a little bit more burnt and crispy. These are really good plain too. So for a typical meal for me, I'll have about 4 ounces of tofu, and I love cucumbers, so I will pretty much be eating cucumbers with my tofu. And the kale that we did make in the air fryer, that's pretty much gone. So, but it looks nice on top of stuff. So this is our air fried tofu, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna serve for Ian's meal. I made him, this is organic black bean rotini. This is a super high protein pasta. So in one serving of this, which is about 3/4 of a cup, you can have 14 grams of protein. So 14 grams of protein plus about 30 grams here with the tofu, you're up to almost 50 grams of protein per meal. Black bean pasta. Okay, so this is typically what I do if I'm meal prepping. So to spruce up food, what I'll do is normally I'll make it kind of plain like this. So you can eat it just like this, or you can spruce it up. I eat it like this with cucumbers. I actually make a little sandwich, kind of like this. Get a little bit of kale chip. I call it a Q-key. It's life-changing. So what I'm gonna use to season Ian's pasta dish is coconut aminos, similar to liquid aminos, but it's actually made with the coconut. This is really yummy. It tastes very similar to soy sauce. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the noodles just to wet them so they don't stick together. And then I'm gonna add some tofu. This is probably gonna be 2 meals for him, so. Okay, so I actually transferred it into a bigger bowl. This is what we have so far. We have noodles, we have tofu, a little bit of coconut aminos. Just a little bit. And this is Thai peanut sauce. I use a little bit of this. This is really, really tasty and creamy. You can use it for dipping sauce or whatever you need. Tofu and tempeh taste really good with Asian dishes. So this is Thai peanut sauce. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on just to flavor it. And I usually use sauces at the end because then it doesn't have to cook in a sauce and then use more sauce at the end to get that little bit of flavor. So I use it at the end so I get like the most concentrated flavor out of what I'm using. It smells so good. Okay, all mixed up. Transfer it back into the nice little serving bowl. Okay, here we have it. This is a high protein tofu pasta meal with Thai peanut sauce and coconut aminos, air fried right here. Super high protein, super. And this is my meal. This one is more contest prep friendly. This one's very bland, but I really love it, especially with pink salt on it. So just plain tofu and cucumbers. I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of my cooking show. I appreciate your love and energy more than I can tell you, and I hope that you took away the power of plants, how fun and awesome and amazing and tasty they can be. I'll see you guys next time. Good vibes, lots of light. High protein tofu. No, let me start it right. And it's very plain.